What is up, everyone? Tom the Dilettante here, and this week I am going to attempt to disassemble, clean, and then reassemble my diesel heater. Why? Because it's been running for the last 3 winters, and I'm guessing that the inside might be a little carboned up and just kind of cruddy. And to be honest, I'm just kind of curious as to what's inside it. Now, I've never taken one of these apart before, and I know there's some YouTube videos out there that show people how to do it, but I'm feeling stubborn. I'm just going to try to see if I can figure it out as I go. If everything works out as planned, I'll take it apart, clean it up, put it back together, fire it up, it'll run, and I'll have it ready for the next season. Let's get to work. So I don't feel like emptying the fuel tank, so what I'm going to try to do is basically take it off and leave it this way, and that should be good to go. Taking off the hose from the fuel pump. Oh shit, this thing just comes right off. Well, that would have worked, except the fuel line is still in the way. That's easy enough, we'll just disconnect the hose. We've got an electrical connector. Okay. And I think the rest of the stuff has to be done on the underside. You can see I got to take off the air inlet, the other end of the fuel line, and then it looks like there's just 4 10mm nuts that hold on to studs to get the whole heat exchanger off. Taking this off. Fuel line. Oh, that whole stud's coming out. Oops. Well, we'll deal with that later. This whole stud's coming out too. Okay. Now it looks like it just separates from the bottom, and I should have the heat exchanger off. Tilt you up. Come on. I know you want to come out. There we go. Gasket's stuck. Ah. Hey, success. Alright, taking this thing apart looks fairly intuitive. Obviously this case splits in half in order to get to things, and the best place to start, it looks like, is from this cap. So it probably just spins right off. Here we go. And then the case will split like that. Just a little bit of shop dust. So far nothing too dirty. And now that the case is split, I should be able to just pull the whole thing out. And now we have our heat exchanger, our little diesel engine. Alright, looks like there's just a control module up here. We're going to take a 3mm Allen and get this out of the way. Probably just lay it on the side. We are going to disconnect the glow plug connector. And there is a secondary sensor, the language for which is in Chinese. I don't read Chinese. And now we have the sensor and this glow plug disconnected. The rest of this looks just kind of like a cylinder head. We'll take off these 4 bolts, and I'm guessing this case should split, hopefully not destroy the gasket, and I should have access to the combustion chamber. My hope is we'll be able to look down into it, see the glow plug, the fuel line, the sensor, and a bunch of soot. Let's see. Hey! Came off! Interesting. Look at that. Wonder what that does. It did ruin my gasket, so I don't know if I'll be able to get another one of those or if I just have to do a make a gasket. And inside, it looks like I'm not done yet. Looks like there's going to be these 4 bolts that I need to take off, and then this plate should come off, and with it, the glow plug and the fuel line. So I guess I needed to take this gasket off anyway. Too bad it's crumbling, because this grommet is going to come off with the fuel line when I take that part off. So let's do that next. I like to use hand tools and not like a drill or an impact on this one because I don't know what I'm doing here. And this way I can feel the fasteners, feel the threads, see if anything's like ready to snap or break. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should pull the wiring off the glow plug because it looks a little precarious. It looks like it's just wrapped around and or soldered to it. So I don't know if I disconnect it, if I'll be able to reconnect it, or if I should try to just reach a wrench in here and remove the glow plug and twist it out and pull it out. I think I'm just going to do that. All right, we're going to try to take the glow plug out where it lies. It looks like it's a 12 mil, and it's surprisingly willing to move on its own, but I don't have much room to throw a wrench. All right, looks like I can use just a pair of needle nose, because this thing's not super tight, to loosen it a little bit more, and from there I can use the wires and just go ahead and take it out. All right, that wasn't too bad. I'm surprised it wasn't tighter. There's your glow plug. How about that? Not too bad looking. It's actually pretty clean. Okay, got that lined up. Huh. Interesting. Look at that thing. Check this out. See how clean it is. It's got a little bit of sediment in there and so forth, but for 3 years worth of runtime, I was expecting this to be a lot dirtier. A lot more carbon, a lot more soot, but no, everything's actually pretty good. Even the glow plug is pretty clean. As a matter of fact, I can run my hands along it, my fingers, and I'm not wiping much carbon off of it. I think these components are pretty good to go. That's all the stuff I got out of there. Not a whole lot. Well, this has been a fun exercise in taking something apart and seeing how it works. I'm even more impressed now with how clean it is inside. I was expecting a lot more carbon and soot and other crud built up inside here after having run it for 3 winters. But as it is, I don't think I need to really clean it out at all. So since I did bugger up the gaskets in disassembling this thing, I'm going to order a replacement set. You can find them on Amazon for less than 20 bucks apparently. And when it comes in, we'll reassemble it and see if we can't get it running again. Alright, it's been over a week since I first disassembled this diesel heater, and since then I went on the hunt for some gaskets. The first set that I found were designed for an Eberspacher model, but apparently the wrong model because they are too small. They just don't fit. Which is unfortunate because I really wanted these to work because they're metal instead of the cheap, just non-metal ones that I've got. Anyway, I did find another kit for 20 bucks. As you can see here, it came with gaskets and a new glow plug. So how cool is that? So today we're going to put this thing back together. We're going to toss in the new gaskets, put in the new glow plug because why not? I have a new one. And how about that? They even gave me a glow plug tool. That would have come in handy earlier when I was taking it apart, huh? As you can see, I cleaned off all the mating surfaces, cleaned up the old gasket, scuffed it up a little bit, and got it ready for reassembly. So let's get started. Now, I'm not entirely sure what the torque specs are on these. Maybe they're available somewhere, but I'm going to go off memory, and these things were not that tight to begin with. So I'm going to use my calibrated finger and say about there. Click, click. Got a new glow plug, so we're going to make sure that the connectors are the same. I think we're good to go. Now we'll try this glow plug socket. That's handy. Also using my calibrated arm, I think that should be about right. Get the dust boot back in. Click, click. Click, click. Well, so far so good. Let's get our sensor connected again. Get the glow plug connected. And then this whole module comes up through here. Not too tight since that's just plastic. And I think we're ready to put this back in the housing. So far so good. Okay, those 4 bolts are back in. Get the fuel line. Put this hose connector. Fuel line back through. And then this just sat naturally on top. Reconnect the wire connector. Top of the hose. Get our fuel line again. There. Let's go ahead and plug it in and see if it works. The pump will take a moment to prime. This is where we burn through batteries and memory cards. Waiting for shit to happen. We got fuel. Just a bench test. That's all we're doing. Then we'll shut it off so we don't, kill ourselves. Well, it's running. And it's warm. Exhaust is hot. I think everything's working as expected. Bench test complete. Check's good. Time to kill it. Well, I think that was successful. We successfully accomplished taking this thing apart, checking out to see how sooty it was, didn't break anything, realized that it's got shit gaskets to be replaced with equally cheap shit gaskets because the metal ones that I got just didn't fit. If you find out where to get some metal and good quality ones, let me know so that we can put it in the link and share it with others. But hey, how about that? Comes apart, goes back together, minimal tools, pretty straightforward, cheap parts, cheap unit. But as far as bang for the buck, I will still stand by it. It's pretty good. Now, sooner or later, this thing's bound to have some kind of catastrophic failure where the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, and we'll probably just shit can it and buy a new one. But until then, with a fresh inspection, new glow plug, and new fuel pump, this thing should be ready to rock for another 3 seasons. Fingers crossed. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you learned something. If you did, hit that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And until the next time, this is Tom the Dilettante saying keep on tinkering and keep on learning. Thanks for watching. Okay. Keep on fiddling. And put this over here. Oh, goodness gracious. Why? Well, it's been running for the last 3 years during the winter, keeping me warm, and I'm guessing that there's a script that I should be following that I apparently can't get out of my brain to talk into you. So you can see this is how I'm basically, I go and I move my cameras around. This is how I set shit up. And I'm gonna say the same thing over again. Kind of repeat the motion. As you can see, I gotta take off the air inlet, the other end of the fuel line, and then it looks like there's... Now you see later, I'll take some B-roll of me setting down those items one at a time to mimic what it's like when I'm disassembling it. So a piece of advice I saw from other content creators was to shoot with the edit in mind. And so every time I'm making a video, even if I'm making shit up on the fly, like this one, I try to imagine what the video is going to look like in edit and what I want the story to look like. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing these. So today we're going to put this thing back together. We're going to use the new gaskets. We're going to put in a new glow plug. Can't talk. So today we're going to put this thing back together, use the new gaskets, toss in the new glow plug because why not? And fucking gaskets stuck on the glow plug. F you. Let me try that again. So today we're going to put this thing back together. We're going to use the new gaskets. We're going to toss in the new glow plug because... So today we're going to put this thing back together. We're going to toss in the new gaskets, put in the new glow plug because why not? I have a new one. And how about that? They even gave me a glow plug tool. That would have come in handy earlier when I was taking it apart, huh? No, I turned it on, and I wasn't prepared to turn it on, so I'm going to put some bricks under. Right now the exhaust is aimed directly at my toolbox. I wonder if I can find my exhaust line quick enough. Probably not.